Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first KO Joe interview. I am Joe Noop, the orchestrator of KO Joe, the lonely single orchestrator of KO Joe. I have no workforce, for the love of God, I'm hiring because this is a lot of work. Anyway, enough about me. First interview for the page. We've got the local band Behind Closed Doors. I've got 3/4 of them with me here today. The other one is working his butt off at McDonald's. Yay, money. Can I get a yay, money?
Yeah, money.
All right. Let's get introductions out of the way. Let's start with you.
I'm Jeremy. I'm lead guitarist of Behind Closed Doors.
I'm Cody. I scream and I play bass.
I'm Damon. I do all the clean vocals and I play rhythm guitar.
Okay, so you guys have been doing music for at least a very many years, I could say, easily. What would you say was really your main introduction to music and wanting to play it at least semi-professionally? Damon?
Well, I tried out piano lessons and all that when I was a kid and never got into that. And it was actually one of my neighbors started playing guitar and I was like, ooh, guitar, I want to be better than him. So I took up guitar and then that just kind of built into me playing acoustic guitar and writing my own music, and then that got into me being in bands and stuff like that.
And little known fact, me and Damon were actually in a band or two together before, and I remember many days spent in his little bedroom with his little, was it 15 gigawatt amp?
Not wearing pants.
Gigawatt? Excuse me, gigawatt. We have to hit 80 miles per hour. Gigawatt. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Cody, how about you?
Man,
Well,
probably.
once I found out I was bad at everything else.
Yeah. Once I learned that I sucked at pretty much everything. I was about 14 years old, and I actually remember I was big into like skateboarding and stuff like that. So like punk rock music and all that was really big.
What kind of punk rock? Like classic punk rock or like this sort of emerging styles?
A lot more like classic, like Mike V and the Rats and
cool.
stuff like that. I remember
Maybe a little bit of Bad Religion in there too.
Yeah,
like
a lot of Bad Religion actually.
Okay.
Basically, listen to the soundtrack of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
Exactly.
That was that's what I started listening to, and stuff like that, like The Offspring and all that.
I love The Offspring.
I remember this kid Sean. He played guitar and he wanted to start a band, and I was really young. I didn't know how to play anything. He's like, "Oh, I need a bass player." I'm like, "All right, Christmas is coming up, Dad. Get me a bass." And sure enough, I got a little Squire bass guitar, and I started from there.
Okay. How about you, Jeremy?
Well, I've always been brought up around music. Like when I was younger, my dad, he'd always play like Metallica and Iron Maiden and stuff like that. So I've always been onto the heavier side of things, but I never actually decided to pick up a guitar till about 8th grade. I played Guitar Hero, and then I wanted to actually play guitar because those little freaking buttons weren't enough.
Who says Guitar Hero doesn't birth musicians?
Yeah, and I was always promised guitar lessons and never got them. So I just kind of taught myself, and now I'm at where I'm at.
Cool. Okay. All right. So, considering how all of you have been in bands previously, at least one or two, maybe even more, what about this project specifically, Behind Closed Doors, appeals to you as a group and to as individual musicians? What speaks to this about you more than the previous projects you've been in?
Man, I don't know how to answer this one.
I'll go straight out and say it. It was hardcore, so I wanted it. It was heavier and
There's something that more appealed to you than
Yeah.
the previous things I've been playing. Okay.
Yeah.
So, really, it's just
Because Cody, with your previous bands, Waiting on Winter, I know was much more leaning towards like Blink 182, pop punk. Damon, you were in that band as well, and then obviously me and you, Damon, were in the band for a little while, and we kind of played like a little mix of everything. I would want to say only about 4 or 5 songs, but so like it was just more of a focused genre kind of thing that really appealed to you, just sticking to one thing and doing it incredibly well, maybe.
It was definitely more of a all right, we want to stick with this area. We're not going to be like, oh, we're a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We kind of wanted to just, we have, I'm not trying to say we're like every other band, but we definitely pick the sound that we have in the genre, but we did want to stick with one genre. And I don't know, it's a lot more, it feels like it's a lot more organized that way. Like we don't have to worry about, oh, we sound to this. It's very, we know how we want to sound, how we need to sound.
I can definitely say something about the people that we're working with too. Like all of us together work a lot better and we all just get along better than I have in other bands, and the work ethic all comes together, and we
True,
write
true.
well together.
I've
And
come to know that in bands myself as well, that the work ethic is basically the backbone of everything.
It really is.
You can't
You can't
produ-
get
you
people
can't
to
even
work
produce
together.
content if you
Yeah.
don't have a work ethic,
Exactly.
right? Okay.
And I'm not trying to say that I don't want to say the hardcore vibe appeals to me more than anything else because I just got out of my car listening to John Mayer on the way here. I mean, I like everything, but the way that we're working with this it's gone so much better than anything that I've done before.
All right, so it's been a while since I've seen your guys set up. I haven't seen you at a show or anything in a long time. What gear are you guys running? I know, Damon, you're probably the biggest tech head out of this entire band.
Oh my God,
Cody,
I have no idea.
you're a decent little tech head too.
No.
A little bit, maybe
Dude,
a little bit.
I'm the most basic person you will ever find. You give me a guitar, an amp, and a little bit of distortion, I'm happy. That's
Okay,
it.
cool. What about you, Cody? I know you. Are you still running the acoustic bass amp?
Yeah, I'm rocking the acoustic V200, and actually got a pretty good tax return. Me and Dave were talking about me getting a new amp, and now I'm rocking the Thunderbird right now. Actually, finally the Thunderbird Pro, which I'm pretty happy about. But I'm looking on getting a Schecter Stiletto pretty soon.
Checkers are sick.
How about you, Damon? I know you've got like 16 instruments.
If
You
we
play
want-
them all at the same
Let's
time.
just talk
by the
about
way.
Damon's whole setup right now. It's Spencer's
If
basement.
we
Everything
want
else-
to, everything that we got. Okay, well, if we want to get into everything that I use, I've got a Gibson SG with an upgraded bitch
I
pickup.
thought we were talking about things you use.
Oh well. Okay, well that's me with backup. I also use a Fender Stratocaster with lace sensor pickups that are a lot hotter than regular single coils. Marshall 4x12 cab with a trainer tube head.
Are any of you catching this? Because I'm not.
I don't know how much. And then we just
I'm like Jeremy,
set
a
up-
little distortion.
Just
and I'm
smile
a
and
little-
nod your
yeah,
head.
smile.
That's what we all do.
We
yes,
just set up
tubes.
a,
I know that word. That is a
You
word.
put things in tubes, right?
And then we just set up a piano and my microcork synthesizer on a little double stand. We got that running through our PA system right now.
So basically, what we're trying to say here is, don't let your science teacher fool you. Sound doesn't come from vibrations; it comes from tubes.
Yeah. Comes
Okay.
from Damon.
Comes from
Damon. This is what happens.
All right. So, like we talked about with you guys having an appeal for the singular focus with hardcore, a little bit of metal, and all that. Describe the style of music you guys think you're really sort of attempting to achieve here, because I know you guys all take inspiration from things, but what are some of the things besides just inspirations that you're trying to innovate upon? Because like I noticed, Cody, you're wearing a Bless the Fall shirt, and I can definitely get a sense for that inspiration in the music. What are some of those other inspirations and innovations that you really want to take a better look at than some other bands,
Like,
local or otherwise?
we're very big. Also, I feel like I'm just straight like representing bands here right now, but like the Word Alive is a very, very big inspiration of us. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people listening here has heard them, at least their song 2012, but they're very, they're in that same kind of genre, but they definitely take it a step above and show, like, if you really work at it, you can do some pretty crazy things. Like, just take the time to write. Don't just, sit there and, okay, if everyone chugs right here, this will sound cool together. And it's a lot more of an inspiration that way. And then I feel like our lyrics definitely get out in a special way, just, I don't know how to explain it without being corny. It's just, I feel like
Be
a lot
corny,
of
man. Be corny. This is the place to do
I
it.
feel like our lyrics can get out in a way on just, letting people know, just be yourself. Like, don't try and fake yourself for anyone else. Like,
Kind of like that first song off the demo,
Yeah,
The Flash
like-
Takes a Moment to
yes,
Reflect.
exactly.
Okay, cool.
That's really what we're trying to get in there.
Okay. And how about you, Danny? Like, because I know you said you take, you listen to a lot of things. I know I've known for a while. Yeah, you listen to like John Mayer and a lot of lighter stuff, and you like Keys and stuff like that.
I really do. Yeah, I'm really into the lighter stuff, and I really think that being able to take an element from music like John Mayer or the band Keeney, if anyone's ever heard of them, they're really piano-driven, just really light rock band. Like, being able to take those softer elements are kind of even important in the heavier genres, because it just kind of adds another just kind of like layer to the music. And if you're able to put a nice synth pad over something or a keys part, it's just like, oh wow, this is so different, and it's not what someone was expecting.
Yeah.
And it just makes it so much more interesting to listen to, and more interesting to write and play. It's just more fun. And really, one thing that I want to take away from our music that I feel like a lot of the local scene doesn't do is the technicality. Because with some of the newer stuff that we've been writing that wasn't on the demo, we're really taking a look at theory. We're taking a look at the actual parts that we're playing and how they fit together. And a lot of people will be like, all right, dude, do a chug, and I'm going to sweep here. And it's going to sound like
I can tell you from being a reviewer of local music and having to, search them out for the most part, I can appreciate a sense of technicality beyond a lot of what a lot of other local bands are attempting just to, have an excuse to be on stage. And sometimes, it boggles my mind how popular some chug-a-lug bands get. I won't say names, but you know who you are out there. How about you, Jeremy? Because when you were young, your dad worked at a music venue, right?
Yeah.
So you were kind of like raised in that environment, like you said. And did you like have any sort of, I don't know if epiphany would be the right word, but like any sort of moment where you said that like this really appeals to me, and that kind of like existed throughout your youth?
Yeah, I really did. When I was younger, my dad, he didn't play one specific venue. He was more like a drum tech for a band that would, travel all over the place. And actually now they're signed after 20 years. It's funny, and they're playing in LA.
What band is that?
It's like an 80s band. They're called Ginger Lynn. They're not super huge, but it's like an 80s hair band. But anyway, he would do a lot of that. And when I was younger, we do it once every year. There was a Midwest Beat magazine would hold this thing at the Holiday Star Theater in Maryville, Indiana, and he'd take me along there, and I just watch from behind the scenes of all these bands playing and how they, just how they connect and get their music out, and it was really awesome. And I think it was about then that I realized at least someday I want to be a part of that. And then, like I said, a few years later, Guitar Hero happened, and now I'm playing guitar in band. So, but yeah, I definitely had a moment where I realized it.
All right, let's get away from a little bit of the serious stuff. Best bands, why? What best bands?
Favorite band. I mean, I've talked about the lighter stuff. Favorite band, Word Alive. End of story. Because honestly, if you talk to the lead guitarist in that band, and he has posted this on Twitter, he'll say the most important thing in writing guitar parts and writing music is to know music theory, and no one understands that. And I hate that no one understands.
Anyone can buy a guitar. It takes a real mathematician and a real student to really
take the time to learn theory.
Exactly. Yeah. It kills me how many local bands are big the way that they are, and I could be like, all right, dude, well, what key is this song in? And what do you mean?
That is totally me.
Exactly.
Being the basic guitarist.
We're trying to pull you away from that.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I have David as a teacher.
Okay. Worst band.
Broken Side.
Oh! That's not even fair.
That's not a band, man. That's a rapper.
That's the world's biggest drum set falling down an infinite staircase. I can say that. Funny story. Speaking of Broken Side, I believe Damon, you were here with me with this. Warped Tour 2009, I believe.
You're looking at me like I feel like you know what I'm about to say.
I had the luck of being able to see a really good band, Gallows, the UK very hardcore punk rock band, the kind of guys who you could probably share a nice evening with, but immediately after they would probably hang you from a pole. I saw their set in which they played not on the stage but on the middle of the ground, in the middle of everyone, risking life and limb. And in the middle of their set, they noticed that Broken Side, in fact, was playing about a couple hundred yards to the left of them. And so the lovely vocalist at the time, because they have a new one now actually, told everyone in the audience to give them the finger and yell some very polite obscenities. And let me tell you, I've been to a few shows, not terribly many, but that will always stick with me as my first moment of complete and utter rebel abandon. Because you could see all the people from the Broken Side stage just turn their head and hang it in shame, just utter shame, because they knew that there was a pile of people ready to jump them if they reacted whatsoever.
It's because the crowds are like the big punk rock guys right next to the 13-year-old emo cutters.
Yep. Okay. Oh my god. I love talking about Broken Side because it just never gets old. At least they do that. They provide you some
Anyone who's
form of
listening to this, if you haven't listened to Broken Side,
go right now.
please just stop this interview, go to YouTube, and listen to one of their songs.
It'll be the darkest moment of your life.
Take your
Because
dog
they're
out of
so
the room
good.
first because he's definitely gonna react. All right, guys. Any upcoming album EP news? I know you just released the 3-song demo, but you said earlier to me you'd in fact gone in or were planning to go in and refix some guitar sounds, some levels. Is there anything new about that?
Okay.
Go ahead.
No.
We actually went in and we did re-level all of the guitar tracks, and those new tracks are up on our Facebook right now. Because when we initially released the demo, and the first like 50 or so people that got it, I'm pretty sure Spencer went around and we can give you a new one if you want the re-leveled tracks. But the guitar levels were way low compared to where they needed to be. And that really affected how the vocals stood out way too much and everything didn't seem to blend well. So when we got all that going, that was good. And we were planning on going in this summer to record 2 more tracks to have a 5-track EP altogether.
With the same 3 songs, just an
Right,
additional
the
2.
3 and then
Additional
additional
2.
2.
What are you aiming for those initial or those new 2 songs? Because in my review, at least, I had pointed out a couple of like errors that I had noticed that they were very good for the local band that you guys are. But like some of the songs, I just noticed that you had gone in to fix the guitar levels because I noticed that a lot of times it seemed like they were drowned out either maybe by vocals or something like that, or they might not have been necessarily as punchy or strong as they are. What are you guys focusing on this new time for the next 2 songs?
I really feel like we need to take a little more time on the mix, give it a couple more days once we're finished, so we don't have to go in that second time after people have already heard it and been like, oh, well, you know what, you guys should have done this.
Right. Because you guys have got the talent. It's just an issue of being able to produce it as well as
Yeah,
you possibly
it's
can.
very.
Are you using the same producer? Who's that?
We're not 100% sure.
We are not, we haven't made any calls, we haven't talked to any studios yet.
We're still in our writing process of these 2 songs. I mean, we're pretty much done with them for the most part, but
We're just still cleaning them
we're
up.
tweaking it out and all that. And we got other things we're focused on other than the recording at the moment. We don't want to have a show, where we're just playing our EP for everybody because right now we don't have enough songs written to where we're gonna
We're still finishing
be
up
able
our-
to like
Play a 30-minute show.
play. Yeah, well, I mean, we're almost there. I mean, we have the songs
We've got-
to play it. It's
yeah,
just
we've
we
got
don't
a
want. What we're trying to say is like we don't want to like go there and play a show and hand out the demo and then have the people being like, oh, they played this song and this song and this song
yeah.
and this one and this one. We want to get enough songs to where we can give people our demo or EP whenever that's out, and also have them be like, oh, what happened?
Have more
to this?
songs live
Yeah,
and
have more
getting
songs
out.
to play. You'd be like, hey, this is a new song, or here's something that's not on our demo. Tell us what you think and all that. And
So
then-
you're still catching them off guard when you give them
yeah,
a demo.
we want to catch them off guard. We don't want to
Because making a good first impression is a big key
Yeah.
as a local band.
Yeah.
Fighting for years. I've seen plenty of people. Yeah, they'll play the same 4 songs on stage and then hand out 2 songs worth of a demo, the same 2 possibly, and that can either be a really good sign or a really bad sign. Sometimes depending on who you're working with. Okay. All right. So I had heard, however, through the grapevine that you guys are coming up with a tour. Is that correct?
That is true.
Can you give us some news about that? Dates, maybe? What are you guys hoping to achieve through this?
Well, starts on the
Give us a rundown.
14th of June, and we're going to Robinson, Illinois. It's a small bowling alley, but we're playing with a bunch of bands from like the Champaign area, which with me and Damon's last band, whenever we've gone there a few times and played, and we're familiar with everyone there. We have a lot of good friends, and we're actually touring with really good friends at Oblivion Oasis. So if you guys hear this, what's up? But
What's up?
Hey guys.
But it's gonna start off in Southern Illinois, and I'm pretty sure from there we're gonna go to St. Louis, Missouri.
Sweet.
Then I think we're gonna play 2 shows in Nebraska. It's not a long tour. I mean,
It's just
it's
Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah,
It's distance at least, and sometimes bands can't even get that. As long as you can get out of the county, that's even a big step.
Yeah.
That's what we're shooting to do. We want to get our music out as far as we possibly can. And just initially, right out of the gates, being able to go on this tour with this Oblivion Oasis is definitely, I feel like, is definitely going to help.
Yeah,
Our
and
numbers.
these guys are really, really good at setting up this kind of stuff. They've done it before. Like, I mean, they set up these shows by themselves, and
It's
I mean,
insane.
last
I can't
summer,
believe
last
it's
summer we played the show with them Amish stock, and it's just
They set up a freaking festival.
yeah, it
Like,
was a
unbelievable.
borderline festival. It was ridiculous. It's just in this little park, like a little public park, and they built their own stage and everything. Which I want to do this now. If you are listening to this, I have no idea who you are who built that stage. I apologize so much for destroying it. There's so many holes in that stage because of us. I'm sorry, but
It was beautiful.
it was a fun show, and it was
Swiss
just,
cheesed it.
it was great though. Like there were so many, every kid was into it, and it was so many people there. We just weren't
great.
expecting. It was a free show, and everyone just got along with each other great. It was fun. It was worth the trip.
It was definitely worth the show.
I think definitely you could get your name a lot more out there. There are even some local bands now who've only been around for a couple of years that are making shows, not just in like the state area, but also like New York or possibly in the South. You ever hear of a band called Sworn In?
Yeah.
I know those guys are fairly local as well, and they sort of, they're a little more, I would want to say, mathematic than what I've heard of you guys right now, but they seem to exhibit the same technical prowess that you guys are trying to achieve at least. And yeah, it seems like something you guys could pull off too, is maybe playing a show in New York like they did last weekend or something like that. So it's cool. Very interesting. Okay. Any questions left, anyone? Let's see. I didn't get any questions on my Facebook page for KO Joe because I guess I don't have any fans, even though the little counter there is telling me 51 right now at the moment. So I think we'll just end with funny time, yay, Sparkles.
Yeah.
Do we have a little child just laugh?
All right, last question, guys. Would you rather open up for Broken Side or Justin Bieber?
Broken Side all the way.
Broken Side?
Absolutely, Justin Bieber.
Because I know Spencer's been wearing a Justin Bieber t-shirt
He
lately.
has.
He has. No,
Along
Justin
with red
Bieber-
spandex
Justin Bieber
shorts.
has so many more fans. We would reach so many more kids. if
But
we
all
went
of them
with
are.
Justin
But
Bieber.
remember, all of them are underage.
We could convert them. What if we converted them?
You can't
to
convert their
really-
age.
You cannot convert
We
age.
gotta
You
be
can
careful.
wait. You can wait.
You
Yeah,
can
you
wait
can wait out
patiently.
age.
We got to be careful about being around too many 12-year-olds with Cody. God knows that kid is all up on the 12-year-old girls.
It's for all
And
girls.
boys.
Oh man, we're
So
getting
that's
dark.
an inside joke, by the way, for any 12-year-old girls. If you come to meet me, bring the jumper cables.
yeah.
Oh man. Okay. All right. We'll call it there. This has been Behind Closed Doors, first interview ever for KO Joe. I want to thank you guys for being here, waiting out quite a long time. Damon, how was that haircut, by the way? This has been Jeremy. This has been Cody. This has been Damon. And thank you everyone for listening. KO Joe out.